Hello, everyone. First of all, I wish to thank the organizers of this conference. I also wish to thank the conference committee for accepting my abstract. I'm very happy to be able to present at this conference. And I want to present to you my research project that is titled Fakespeak, the language of fake news detection based on linguistic cues. This is a linguistics-driven project that consists of approximately 70% linguists and 30% computer scientists. And the rationale behind the project is that the lion's share of the research that is done on the detection of fake news is conducted by computer scientists alone. So when you look at some of this research, it may seem at first glance that that at least some linguistics is involved, but when you take a closer look, you will see that no, it's not. It's not linguistics. This is computer science. And so I thought it is about time that we have linguists also on board, because fake news, of course, is a topic that has so far eluded answers, solutions from within one discipline alone. So solutions that are interdisciplinary very much appear to be appropriate. Yeah, why should linguists get on board? Well, linguists have shown that the linguistic features of a text vary according to the purpose of the text. And so when we define in this project fake news as news items, in which case the author knows that they're false and intends to deceive, then the hypothesis is that this intention to deceive will be reflected in the language that is used. And so the language of fake news, that is its structure rather than its content, may be the key to the detection of fake news. And the objectives of this project are first to then identify, to reveal the linguistic and stylistic features of fake news, and then second, to improve existing fake news detection tools by automating all and only the linguistic features of fake news. And by all and only, I mean that our intention is for the tools to detect and flag only deliberate disinformation, ignoring misinformation, for example, which may be inadvertent, ignoring also parody and satire, and also texts involving representing a certain set of opinions. And in this way, we take into consideration safety and security, while at the same time guarding the freedom of speech. In this project, we also involve industrial collaboration partners. So we have, as our partners, we have the biggest Norwegian broadcasting company, the NRK. We also have the Norwegian news agency as our industrial collaboration partner, and yeah, the NTB, and they are the #1 provider of text, images, and videos to Norwegian media. We also collaborate with Norway's first and so far only fact-checking service, the faktisk.no. And at first, the intention is for our collaboration partners to eventually test our detection tools and give us feedback. And in the longer run, the intention is for us to be able to have a more thorough knowledge exchange. But we will see eventually how much time our industrial partners are able to put into the project, but that would be an aim in the long run. As far as methodology is concerned, there is one thing that is quite special with this project compared to other projects. I mean, there are linguistics projects emerging towards the identification of fake news. But something that is special with this project is the data sets that we will use. So like I said, we involve Russian, Norwegian, and English. And we will concentrate on data sets in which case both the fake news articles and the genuine news articles are written by one and the same author. And this is to control for several potential sources of error. There is already a very promising study that has been conducted using this methodology at the University of Birmingham, specifically Helena Woodfield and Jack Grieve have investigated news articles written by former New York Times journalist Jason Blair. He was caught fabricating news articles, and then the New York Times started a thorough scrutiny of his articles, resulting in two data sets, one consisting of genuine articles and one consisting of fabricated articles. And very briefly, the linguists subjected these data sets to register analysis, a methodology that is based on the assumption that the language of a text varies, like I said previously, according to its purpose. And so they assume that since the intention of the author for writing these two kinds of texts were distinct, so he wanted to inform in the true articles and he wanted to deceive in the fake articles, then the linguistic features of the texts, I mean their style and their grammar, would also be distinct. And indeed they made some very interesting findings. For example, the style of the fake news articles was more similar to interactive discourse, while the style of the genuine articles was more like that of informationally dense writing. And more specifically, fake news features included shorter average word length, the increased use of first-person pronouns, and also the increased use of the present tense. While genuine news article features included longer average word length and more widespread use of, for example, third-person pronouns. And perhaps not surprisingly, a fake news feature based on this study was the more widespread use of what we can call emphatics, such as really, most, and that kind of expressions. And so in this study, we want to, in this project, we want to see how this is how the situation is in other languages, specifically Norwegian and Russian, and what we find may have implications for how fake news detection tools should be designed. Could they be language independent, for example, or should they be language specific? And what I wanted to present to you today were actually the results of a pilot study that I have just started for Norwegian. However, because of this strange situation that we all have been in this spring, my plans for the spring were all delayed. And so I've just started this pilot study. And so far, I will just say that it has been slightly more complicated than I expected, because the data sets appear to be smaller than I had expected. Anyway, I could say more about this if anyone has questions. So I just want, I think my 8 minutes are up. I just want to say that questions would be very welcome, as well as comments. And I would also be very happy to engage in various kinds of collaborations with you. Thank you.